I am back, I am back. Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. I am very brown in the face and I just got back from my travels yesterday with my sister. We went interrailing for 2 weeks to Amsterdam, Berlin, Prague, Budapest and Croatia. And yeah, we went 16 days. And it was an amazing time. It was an amazing time off. And yeah, I just wanted to literally, this video is going to be hopefully a short one, just to kind of update you with what my life, what I'm doing from now, prep wise and non-prep wise, and why switching off for 2 weeks has been like an absolute dream for me, and why I really encourage that more people just not go on a holiday specifically, but take time off after a competition. But yes, I will start off with that. So the reason I'm going to start from the beginning. After the English Grand Prix, my goal was obviously to try and reverse diet out of that competition, and slowly obviously bring calories up and blah, blah, blah. And then hopefully whilst I was on holiday, because that would have been 2 weeks, I would have been going on my travels 2 weeks after the English Grand Prix, and that's what I wanted to do, reverse diet and then kind of stay on track on holiday and stuff like that, which obviously didn't happen, but I'll get into that. But yeah, and then obviously last minute I decided to go to Marbella for the Amateur Olympia, which I'm so glad I did, because coming top 6 and then my first international show, I still can't get over it, amazing. So happy for that. But anyway, so yeah, so literally after I came back from Marbella, 2 days later, I was going away again, and that was when I was going away for 2 weeks. So I didn't exactly have time to reverse diet, and I just said to myself, look, just stay on track whilst you're on my travels and kind of macro track and all of that, and you'll be fine. And that's what my plan was, and that's what I was going to do. And literally the first day I kind of went head in and I kind of just had what I wanted. And then the second day I went to the gym, not because I had what I wanted, just because I wanted to find a decent gym, and I hadn't gymmed for about 5 days anyway. And yeah, I went to the gym and I was like, right, I'm going to stay on track. I'm going to try macro track today. And it was difficult. Everything that you know, if you know everything is untracked, it's so hard to track every single thing. So we were in hostels for the first 2 places, which was Amsterdam and Berlin, and trying to macro track all of your meals when you don't know what's in them, you have to just estimate everything, was really difficult when you're trying to actually relax. And it was kind of stressing me out more because I was like, oh, I'm not staying on track, why? This is annoying. And I kind of just accepted it. I was like, I'm on holiday, relax, just enjoy yourself. I'm traveling the world with my sister and I'm trying to focus about prep. That's the main focus, which it shouldn't be. It should be enjoying the attractions, enjoying the holiday. So I just said to myself, I'm just going to eat what I want when I want, and we'll go from there. And it's done. Once I finally accepted that and said that to myself on holiday, it made the holiday so much more enjoyable and so much better. Obviously, the first couple of days I was bloated quite a bit because obviously my body wasn't used to having this type and amount of food. So obviously I was quite bloated, but then once it started getting used to that food and I started drinking more water, and we were walking around a lot more and I was making better decisions and stuff like that, having salads and getting my macros in, it started to go down, and my body just started to normalise again and get to a normal body fat percentage, because obviously being such a low body fat percentage for so long, because I did obviously 2 back-to-back peak weeks, which was really hard on my body. And yeah, it was just hard on my body and hard on my mind because it was a tough time. But anyway, my body fat has gone to a normal percentage again and I feel so much better for it. And this is where I like to start off at. When I start preps, I like to start off at a normal body fat percentage. I don't want to be lower than I already am, because then getting even lower and lower than what I already was is just not, I don't think is healthy. Why it was such a good thing for me to switch off is because it's good to sometimes just switch off and just not do anything. Don't think about the gym, don't think about prep, don't think about weighing food, don't think about food that you're eating. Just eat what you want and just relax and stop trying to think, oh, I need to know what's that, I need to know what protein I'm getting, I need to know what carbs, fats I'm getting in. Just relax. Like, I didn't track any of my macros at all through this entire trip. I tried to track, I tracked half the day, and I just got frustrated because I was like, I don't know if that's actually 100 grams of chicken or if it's 150. Like, you don't know specifically, so that would stress me out even more. And once I accepted that I wasn't going to track it, just the trip became more enjoyable. And what a lot of people do, obviously, they do reverse diets, and I totally agree with it, because I am I've always wanted to do, my goal was to obviously reverse diet in the first place, but every time I've tried to reverse diet, I've just not stuck to it. So I'd have a week off of having what I want. Me personally, having what I want doesn't mean eating shit every day. It means having foods that I want, like different variations and flexibilities of food. That's what having time off means for me, like having, like, not tracking macros, not going to the gym if I don't want to. And that's what I mean by having time off, like for a week, and then I'll just go back to macros. I personally don't think reverse dieting for me is great, because every time I've tried to reverse diet out of it, it just doesn't work for me. Because I'll either not stick to it or I'll just be unhappy. And that's just my opinion. Obviously everyone is different. I know loads of people that are on reverse diets now and they're absolutely loving it, which is great because it works for some people, but I don't think it works for me right this minute. So I like to just have a week off or have time off from either the gym or tracking macros, and then go back to macros and then slowly increasing them. So go back to maintenance macros and then slowly increase them. And that's what I like to do. And obviously that won't be for everyone, but that's what I like to do. Anyway, I find that why it's good for me to switch off, and why I think it might be good for anyone coming off a prep or something like that, is because it gives you a bit of freedom with your food, and you can kind of be like, I fancy this today, I'm going to have this today, and you're kind of not so obsessed with the scales, and not weighing scales as in like food scales. You're measuring your food constantly all the time. You want to know what's in your food. You need to know how much protein's in it, how much carbs, and which is totally fair enough. But reverse diets, I think, for me, really just screw up your brain when it comes to stuff like that, because you're just becoming obsessed with weighing your food, becoming obsessed with macros, and you don't actually know how to relax and how to come off it. For me, it's actually made me feel a lot better, because it's made me realise how strong I am as a person when it comes to stuff like this, because I could go on holiday and I could relax and enjoy myself, but still pick all right choices. Like, yeah, I had pizza for breakfast yesterday, I'm not going to lie. I had ice cream a lot of the time, and I might have under-ate on some days, I might have over-ate on some days. I don't know, because I did not track anything. But in my mind, I don't care. Like, I genuinely don't care. Like, I had an amazing time. So, and that's all that matters. Like, when it comes to stuff like this, like switching off and just being in the moment, being on holiday and just relaxing, a lot of people can't do that. They don't, outside bodybuilding, they don't really have a life. And which is not a bad thing, but I personally, bodybuilding for me is a career. It does want me to, I want it to be a career one day, but for now, like, it's not. And I'm still doing well in it, so I don't need to make it my life. Like, when I'm on prep, I prep. I am full speed ahead, 12 weeks, boom, I'm on prep. My off season, when I'm on my off season, I'm flexible dieting, I'm still training hard. Like, I'm still having foods when I want though, but I'm still training hard. I'm never, this time, this is the first time I've ever done this as well, like being in the bodybuilding like industry, just completely switching off and just not thinking about bodybuilding, about gym, about a diet. And a lot of people can't do that. They really can't. Like I just said on Instagram, I'll insert the photo here. This was in Berlin, and I had a lot of food the day before, and I was really bloated, really bloated at like 11 o'clock at night, and then I woke up at like 10 and I was bloated still. And at first I was kind of like, fuck, like, you see all these Instagram photos obviously of like the before and the after, and the befores you're all full and the afters you're flat, and that wasn't me. And at first I was like, shit, like, that's really bad. But I knew it was because of food. I overate on the day before probably because I had a shit ton of food, and obviously my stomach's going to be bloated, like, again, like, that's just how it is. And the reason I posted that was because a lot of people have to justify themselves why they're eating bad foods or why they're, like, having healthy foods because they want to do whatever. But I just said, literally, I'm simply enjoying myself. Like, it's not binging, it's not overeating, it's just simply enjoyment. And that's what a lot of people can't do. They can't enjoy themselves because they have to always be focused, be on prep, be switched on prep. And that's why switching off from prep has done me so well, because I know I can come back and I can now be focused. Like, this has made me, it's made me even more focused and want it even more, like, to do well at the Arnold's and stuff like that. Because I've been away from the gym, and the gym is a part of me. The gym is life to me. So having it off, obviously, having that time off, I'm, like, hungry and, like, motivated to come back and just absolutely smash it. But my body has needed this well-earned rest. So my point of this video is to just say that your body needs a rest sometimes, and after competition you don't always have to do a reverse diet. Obviously I know a lot of people do say that you need it, but you don't always need a reverse diet. You sometimes just need to give your body a rest, and especially your mind a rest of just tracking macros and stuff like that. That's personally what I think. And I know it's hard for people to kind of switch off sometimes, because obviously being on prep you want to make sure you don't obviously gain a lot of body fat so quickly. But me, I weighed myself this morning, and I haven't weighed myself since prep, since the English Grand Prix prep. So I haven't weighed myself in about 3 weeks, and the last time I weighed myself I was 61.7, and I'm now 66.3, which is 4.4 kilos, and that's not a lot. Like, if you put it into perspective, like, that's not a lot at all. And some of this is going to be water, like I know it is, and obviously I know some of it's going to be fat because I've been on holiday eating a lot of stuff, so it's obviously going to be fat. Like, I know that's going to be fat. I feel comfortable with where I'm at with my body. I actually woke up this morning today and I actually saw a bit of definition in my stomach. So I've still got abs, I've still got definition in my legs, my arms. Like, I just am at a normal weight again. My normal weight is usually about 68 anyway, because I'm quite tall, I'm 5'8". So a bit of a life update. I'm doing obviously the Arnold's. I have 4 competitions this year, for the rest of this year, which I know is going to be really tough, but mentally I think I can do it. I've got the Arnold's, which is my next competition, and I've got the UK BFF British finals, and then I have IFBB Diamond Cup possibly, and the IFBB Diamond Cup in Finland, I think. So those are the competitions that I have lined up. I don't know if I'm going to do all of them, because I know obviously 4 competitions because this will be from September till October, which is like, that's in a month, right? So that's like a competition a month, which I don't know if I can do that. So that'll be really hard on my body. So I think possibly 3 competitions. I'm going back to prep on Monday for the Arnold, so I'm be 12 weeks out. I'm actually 12 weeks out today, but my coach just said start on Monday, fresh and new, and you'll be fine. So yeah, that's what I'm doing, and that's pretty much it. I'm gonna end the video here. Love you guys so much, and thank you for watching.